Hello, my name is Miss Spooner and I'm the Key Stage 3 leader at the Wren School. I'm here to talk you through the Parent Transition Evening PowerPoint, which will hopefully answer all your questions in relation to your child starting at the Wren School in September. The Wren School vision and ethos. We want the Wren School to be a place where each child, regardless of background, will receive a world-class education and be nurtured, challenged and inspired to aim high. So what do those three words mean then? Challenge, nurture and inspire. So nurture, by that we mean students show empathy and have an understanding of working with each other. Respect, and they show respect for others at school, whether that's teachers or their peers, that they are happy, safe and secure, and that they show kindness to each other. Challenge. This is students challenging themselves and others for improvement. This is showing a relentless pursuit of excellence within their work and their attitude around school. This is being aspirational and aiming high, wanting to be the best that they can be. And challenge is also inclusive. So no matter what their ability, they are pushed to their limits in the lessons to get the best out of them. Inspire. By this we mean through effort and achievement. So we want them to be the best that they can be in their effort, as well as what they achieve in lessons. Opportunities and leadership, whether that's representing the school in clubs outside of school, whether it's joining the school council or taking a leadership role within their form group, having respect for the environment and having respect for the facilities and equipment. We are so lucky here at the Wren having a brand new school build, so it's important that students appreciate that and they take responsibility for their school environment. So with the senior leadership team then at the Wren, we have Mr. Solberg, who is the principal, and Mrs. Solberg has 4 vice principals underneath him. Mr. Harrison, the pastoral lead, Mrs. Mullen, she's in charge of the curriculum, Mrs. O'Brien in charge of teaching and learning, and Mrs. Jubb in charge of raising achievement. When your child starts in Year 7, these are the key people that will be a support team for them, not only in Year 7, but throughout their journey in Key Stage 3 and 4. So, my name's Miss Spooner and I'm the Key Stage 3 lead. You have Miss Potts, who is the Year 7 leader, Mr. Hollins, who is the designated safeguarding lead for the school, Mrs. Pike, who is the student wellbeing leader for the school. You have Mrs. Laney, who is a youth worker, Mrs. Juster, who is the Senko, and Mrs. Danbury, who's the assistant Senko. Other key staff in this school that you need to know about: Mrs. Griffiths, who is the office manager, Mrs. Smith, who you will see at main reception, and she will be welcoming you as you come into the school, and Mrs. Herbert, who is in student reception, who students will see on a day-to-day basis. The role of the form tutor. So just to let you know, there will be 6 form groups in Year 7 with approximately 28 students in each form group. The aim of the tutor is to support your child's transition to the Wren School. They will do this at the start of each day from 8:50 to 9:20, where your child will be going to reflection time for 30 minutes every day. In reflection time, the student is registered, so they are marked present or absent from school, and then there is some topics and discussion within the form group led by the tutor. The tutor will be monitoring praise and behaviour points, attendance and punctuality, and equipment, and we'll go through those in a little bit more detail later. They will be monitoring your child's progress across the school. They should be your first point of contact. So if you have any questions regarding your child, regarding lessons, questions, queries, concerns, please contact the form leader as the first point of contact. Supporting your child, what we will ensure. We will acknowledge and reward your child when they do the right thing in and out of lessons. We will put individualised support in place for your child in and out of the classroom. We will offer a broad variety of extracurricular clubs at lunchtime and after school. We will offer a number of trips within the curriculum and as an incentive for making the right behaviour choices. We have a school council where students' ideas and opinions are listened to and put into action. And like with any school, we have rules in place with consequences to help ensure a safe school environment. So here are just some examples of positive behaviour we acknowledge and reward. So students that do the right thing in and out of lessons, whether it's handing in excellent standard of extended learning, that is what we call homework, whether they're contributing in lessons, they've just produced fantastic classwork. P3s, or if it's exceptional, P5s will be logged onto class charts, which is basically our behaviour software that we use to mark achievements and also mark any behaviour concerns that we've had. Students can be sent postcards home by their teacher, by the tutor, by the head of year, by the key stage lead, by the assistant head teacher as well. A newsletter will be emailed to parents each term, updating them with everything that has gone on in that term at school. There will be a celebration assembly each term for Key Stage 3, where teachers will nominate students who have been particularly successful in their subject, as well as tutors will be nominating students who have stood out in the form groups as well. There are frequently non-uniform days for students who are awarded for either excellent attendance, punctuality, for positive behaviour. There is Hot Chocolate Friday, which is served in the restaurant for a certain number of students who have done the right thing. We have a Key Stage Lead ward breakfast where I provide croissants and pain au chocolats for a section of the Key Stage 3 students who have received a certain amount of achievement points in the term. And we have reward chips throughout the year as well. So lots to aim for. It is also worth noting that we do have a whole school consequence system, but hopefully your children will never really get to know this system because they'll just be displaying positive behaviour day in, day out. The Key Stage 3 thematic curriculum. Our Key Stage 3 curriculum bridges the gap between primary and secondary school through a focus on developing core skills plus wider knowledge and understanding derived from a thematic curriculum, linking 10 subject areas: English, maths, science, PE, humanities, technology and art, modern foreign languages, performing arts, computing and wellbeing, as well as reflection time. Our school day is structured to support this curriculum by enabling a mixture of double and single lessons in response to the differing needs of each subject. So this diagram here just shows the topics that what we will cover in year 7 and 8. Just for example, in term 3 in year 7 this year, the topic was the genius of the past. In PE, what we focused on were a number of sporting athletes that had beaten world records, that had been top of their game in their sport, and saying how they contributed to the sport and to the popularity of it, and how they shaped that sport for future generations. So that is kind of just a little example of how we put these themes into the curriculum. Extracurricular activities. These are found on the school website if you click on to the tab Our School and then click on the tab Wrap Around Care. You can attend clubs at two specific times, at lunchtime or after school. Lunchtime from 1:40 to 2:20 and after school 3:30 to 4:20. All students are welcome, please just turn up. However, with some classes in particular, places are limited and offered on a first come, first served basis. We often have students saying halfway through term 3, oh, I've wanted to come to netball, but I hadn't come from the start of the year, so I wasn't sure if the team had already been sorted and I wasn't sure if I was welcome to join. It doesn't matter when you start. Obviously, just ask the teacher who's running the club before you turn up to make sure you've got the details correctly, and you will be welcomed. It doesn't matter what time you start. So here is just an example of the clubs that we're running in term 4. And this is the timetable that will be placed on the school website under Wraparound Care. So just to give you a bit of flavour of what is on offer for Key Stage 3. So Science have a Key Stage 3 club. In PE we offer netball, basketball and football for Year 7s and 8s and 9s. English offer creative writing and book club. The performing arts offer band and songwriting, show choir and dance club. And the MFL department offer Polish, French and Spanish film club, and humanities offer film club. So as you can see, there is a massive range and variety of clubs on offer for your child, and it'd be great to see that they could participate in at least one of these clubs throughout Year 7 as a minimum. So supporting your child, what can you do to help? Communication is absolutely paramount. So there are lots of ways that we will communicate with you, or you could communicate with us. So class charts is the way that we can communicate with you. This is where all the homework is placed onto class charts at the end of every day, so you can see what homework has been set and when it is due for. It's really helpful as well because it can help organise your child, and they can see an overview of the week, what is due when. Class charts is also our behaviour system where we log achievement points and also behaviour points as well. So if you download the app, then you will be able to keep track of the behaviour and achievement points that your child is picking up on a day-to-day basis, as well as look at the homework. Just to say as well, with the homework, students and parents will receive a login, which is different. So you can both access that to keep track of everything. The Wren School website and Facebook page, weekly school parents bulletin, and the Wren's newsletter. These are 3 forms of communication that we give to parents just to keep you updated with everything that is going on at the Wren School. So please ensure that you check your emails weekly and you have a read at the bulletin, at the newsletter. I'm sure there'll be lots of you very proud seeing your daughter or your son mentioned in the Wren newsletter if they have had any achievements in the term. And also the Wren School website and Facebook page. So there are 2 ways that we will either contact you, or you can contact the form leader, the head of year, or me, the key stage lead. So that is by phone or by email. Really important that you check your voicemails, that you check your emails. And we will get back to you within 48 hours of you communicating with us. Weekly student bulletin. This is for the students in reflection time. So this is a way for us to communicate any notices to them, and this is always done on a Monday, unless they have assembly, and then it's done on the next day. So it's really important that students listen to this, and this is led by the tutor. Also, a form of communication which the tutor checks regularly, every day actually in reflection time, is the Wren School Planner. I'm sure you as parents will remember having a planner at school as well. This is really important because not only can students write down the homework, obviously it's on class charts, but we encourage them to write it in there as well, just to give them an extra reminder, even if it's not the details of the homework, but what subjects have set homework that day. But it's also a great way for parents to communicate via the notes section of each week to the tutor if students have issues with uniform, any medical concerns. Parents can write a note to the tutor in the student's planner. It is also important that parents sign the planner every week to prove that they've looked at the student's homework and they've checked the planner to see what achievement points they've got, what behaviour points they've got, and their attendance and punctuality percentages. Very important as well, attendance at parents' evening and settling in evening. You will have 2 parent presentation evenings that we would like you to attend. Year 7 Parents' Evening, that is your chance to meet up with all your child's teachers to get feedback on how they're doing academically in each of their subjects. And settling in the evening is really great as well because it's a chance for the tutor to meet with yourselves and the child and to go through how your child has settled in at the start of year 7 and what their attendance, punctuality and their achievement and behaviour points are like. So as I said before, settling in evening and year 7 parents evening are both really important events that we would expect your attendance at. Settling in evening is in term 1 before October half term, so please keep an eye out for that. And year 7 parents evening will be before May half term in term 5. We also have ISP meetings, individual support plans or provision meetings, and these are for students with special educational needs, and these ISP meetings are held 3 times a year. Targets are arranged and agreed, and then they are reviewed at the next ISP meeting to see if they need to be changed slightly or if they need to continue with the same targets. And these are just to ensure that there is an individualised provision for students with SEN needs and that their teachers are aware of the targets that your child has. Supporting your child, what can you do to help? So another really important factor is that you can help ensure that they have excellent attendance and punctuality. So the Wren School target is 96%, and that's what we aspire all children to achieve by the end of each year. So in order to achieve that, students should all be at school by 8:40 at the latest. This is because at 8:50, 10 minutes later, they need to be in their form room ready for reflection time. A second, a minute or so past 8:50, they will be recorded as late to reflection time, which means there will be a detention on that day because they were late to school. So we really, really value punctuality. It's important that students understand that being punctual is a really important skill that they must master. Please contact us if your child is going to be late or absent. That is so important. Okay, if you can let us know before school starts, even better. So as you can see, we have got this grid here. If your attendance is between 96 to 100%, you would be seen in the green group, which is no risk at all. Yellow group, which is between 95% to 95.9, there could be a risk of underachievement. And it's worth noting, actually, I'm just going to stick with the 95% students that had 95% attendance at school. They received 5 good grade 4 GCSEs at the end of year 11. Students with a attendance less than 95%, okay, they are less likely to get those 5 good grades, which is a grade 4 or above in their subjects at GCSE. Okay, so attendance and achievement go hand in hand together. Anybody under 90% will be known by the council as a persistent absentee. And if you had attendance below 90% at primary school, you may have experienced receiving letters from the council regarding that. So let's make sure that our children's attendance at the Wren stays above 96%, and then that will help them achieve the best that they can in lessons. If you are late to school, so as I said before, students should arrive at school by 8:40 at the absolute latest. The school gates are locked by staff on duty a few minutes before 8:50 because those staff on duty had to get to reflection time for 8:50. Okay, so the school gates will be locked just after 8:45. Students who arrive late, once the gates are locked at 8:50, must enter via main reception at the Southcott Lane entrance and sign in. They will be issued a consequence unless students have medical proof as to why they were late. Please encourage your child to be on time. So the school day. School opens at 8 o'clock. As I said, reflection time starts at 8:50. 9:20 will be lesson 1. 10:20 will be lesson 2. Break time will be at 11:20. Lesson 3, 11:40. Lesson 4, 12:40. Lunch is at 1:40. And lesson 5 is at 2:20. So we only have one lesson after lunchtime. Clubs run from 3:30 to 4:20. And from 4:20, we do offer social time, which you can pay for, and students can stay at school up till 6 o'clock if you are not home in time and you want them to be looked after at school. As you can see, lessons last an hour each. Reporting an absence or late arrival. Please ring or email us before the school day to let us know your child won't be in school due to illness or if they will be late. So before school day is before 8:50. Please ring at the start of every day they're absent from school. Okay, so your son or daughter may have the flu, you think they may be off for 4 days, but you must ring at the start of each of those 4 days. Don't just assume one phone call will cover those 4 days. We need to know at the start of every single day. If your child takes more than 3 days off school in a row, we would advise that you take your child to a doctor and get medical evidence to support the absence. So this is an appointment card, text message, site of medication or prescription, named and dated appropriately. If your child has a medical appointment during the school day, please take the appointment letter card to main reception so we can mark them on the register. You should write a note in your child's planner to show their class teacher that they have permission to leave the lesson. Your child must go to main reception to sign out. Upon arrival at school, your child must sign back in at main reception. We appreciate that with some appointments, such as the orthodontist, it's very hard to get appointments outside school hours. But with everything else, we would ask that you try your hardest to get appointments after 3:20, so your child's education is not impacted. So what else can you do to help? The Wren must have. So there are six things that we would like your child to have at the start of every day. A reading book, 2 pencils, a scientific calculator, 2 pens, so if one runs out or one leaks, they've got another one, a school planner which they'll be given on the first day, and a rough book. Okay, so there's the 6 things that the tutor will be checking at the start of every reflection time to ensure that your child is organised. Uniforms. As you can see, we've got the grey trousers, we have the pleated knee-length skirt, we've got the grey wren jumper, the wren white polo top with the wren bird on it, and we've also got 2 types of shoes. Students are allowed to wear leather trainers, but they have to be 100% leather. They have to have a black underneath, so they can't have white like a sport trainer, or they can just wear leather shoes as appropriate. So we'll leave that up to you. As you can see, I've put the logo there for Stevenson's. That is our school uniform provider. So please contact them to book an appointment to get your child's uniform. PE kit, we have plain black shorts, plain black joggers, we have a wren fleece. Students will be going out whatever the weather, so please don't think or please don't believe them when they say that it's raining that they won't be doing PE. They will be. It's part of our way to build resilience. They need to bring sports socks as well, so they're not wearing the same socks throughout the whole day. They need to bring moulded studs, and they also need to bring PE trainers and a PE polo top as well. Again, all of this can be purchased through Stevenson's. We don't mind students having plain black joggers and plain black shorts that don't have the Wren logo on, but they must have the polo top. And it's optional to have the Wren fleece. We would recommend it though because it is super warm and keeps your children dry as well in wet weather. Mobile phones and headphones. So phones should be out of sight from 8:30 to 3:20. So throughout the school day, we should not see them at all. They should be switched off and put in bags and lockers. Phones will be confiscated and parents and carers will need to collect these from main reception if they are held there. So students aren't allowed to collect them at the end of the day. Parents or carers must come in to collect them. Parents worry that the internet can negatively impact on their child. As the parents are the bill payer, please be in charge of your child's phone. Limiting uses, especially at night, will help make sure that your children go to sleep at the appropriate time. Checking what websites your child is accessing and the contact your child has on social media. So part of the reason why we don't allow phones in school is because of the impact they can have on a student's mental health if they're on social media. So please make sure you're monitoring this at home. Lockers. This is a solution to keep your child's belongings safe and secure. Lockers will be £25 for the 5 years, plus you can pay an additional £5 if you'd like 2 locker keys. You just need to fill in the school locker agreement and pay on parent pay, and this was sent in the admissions pack. Lockers will be issued on a first come, first served basis. As you can see, we have them outside under the canopy where students can access at break and at lunchtime before school and after school. So the restaurant and the cafe, we have 2 areas here where students can go at break and at lunchtime and before school as well. So to pay for things in the restaurant and cafe, there is a biometric system. So this is where we use the student's fingerprint to pay for the food. So we have a cashless system here at the Wren. Caterlink provide the cold and hot food, catering for a range of dietary requirements. They serve breakfast, break and lunch. The restaurant will serve hot meals and snacks, and the cafe is for ready-made hot and cold snacks for food on the go. So your first day at the Wren School, which is going to be on the 3rd of September 2020, please bring. So students need to wear full school uniform. They need to bring their pencil case with pencils, pens, rubber, ruler and calculator. They need to bring a reading book. They need to have a water bottle. We have a number of water fountains throughout the school that they can fill that up in the day. They need to bring a packed lunch if they're not having school lunch, and PE kit will not be needed on day 1. So what to expect? You will be welcomed to the Wren School. You will meet your form leader and spend time with your form group. Children will receive their planner, rough book and timetable. They will be given their login details. They will be given a tour of the school. We don't expect them to remember where everything is, but hopefully they will start getting familiar with where everything is, and they will have sorted their biometrics so they can access the school dining room. So, paperwork that needs to be filled in and sent back to us, the homeschool agreement. This needs to be signed by both you, the parent, and also the child. The parent agreement to administer medicine form if your students take any, if your child takes any medication. The locker agreement form if they wish to purchase a locker. The biometric agreement form, admissions form, and an application for free school meals if this applies to you. So all that leads me to say, I know I've given you, bombarded with you lots of information. Obviously, please feel free to scroll back through the PowerPoint in your own time if you need to go back through any of the information. All that leads me to say is I hope you all have a great summer, and we all look forward to welcoming you on the 3rd of September 2020. Any questions, please don't hesitate to contact Annie Potts, who's the head of Year 7, or myself, Jackie Spooner, the Key Stage 3 leader, on the emails provided there. Thank you very much for your time. Look forward to speaking to you soon.